Hey everyone, it's Becky. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, then welcome. And if you don't want to miss out on weekly pick a card readings like this one each week for me, don't forget to subscribe. Today's pick a card reading is, how does your crush see you? In front of me, I have 4 different options, each with a different stone. Choose the one that really calls out to you. This is group 1, group 2, group 3, and group 4. If you need more time, you can pause the video now, and if you know which one you want, you can go to the timestamp down below. Okay, let's get started. Hey, group number 1. Okay, so how does your crush see you? Okay, so instantly when I tapped into the energy of you and your crush's connection, I instantly could taste like Dove chocolate. And then I got these Valentine's Day type of vibes. Like literally I felt like I was no longer in the month of December, but that it was February. And I was like, what? And then as if that wasn't enough, the song that came through for you guys is Electric Love by Borns. And that really captures the overall feel for the connection that you both have. So if you haven't ever heard that song, I would definitely check it out. And so yeah, you guys, you might actually be my favorite group out of all of them because I just love that it has such a Valentine's Day feel to it, and that song came up. Yeah, and the song fits you guys pretty well because I feel like this connection happened out of nowhere. And in the song he talks about something about your love is like lightning in a bottle and I can't let you go now that I got it. And it talks about being sweet as candy, which goes right along with the Dove chocolate. So yeah, definitely, even if you've heard it, check that out to tap into the overall energetic feel. Okay, so along with that, okay, so seeing that 2 of water here, this tells me that this is, not only did this connection strike you guys both kind of unexpectedly out of nowhere, but is completely like mutual. Like they're feeling it too, which is awesome. And I'm getting the feeling that this is new and it's got that whole like puppy love crush feeling and that you're both feeling that. Okay, so along with that, I'm seeing the moon here, which tells me that, you know, you guys, you haven't really talked a lot, okay? So you both don't really know a lot about each other yet. And those of you who have spoken, it's like, it's kind of slow moving, you know? And you haven't really said a lot, so not very in depth. And the overall focus actually is that you both are pretty much like kind of tending to your own lives and what's going on with you and, you know, your life as well as your future is the feeling with that. Okay, so with all the water here in the transformation card, which is Scorpio, it's like they do view you like you have this depth to you, but again, they don't know a lot about you yet. So you definitely come across as this mysterious person to them currently that they are intrigued by. They just don't know a whole lot yet about you. And along with transformation, they are also highly attracted to you guys. Okay, so yeah, that's great. And with this card, you also come across as, so yes, they find you like attractive, but they also see you as this magical like person who's flowing through life, and you have this kind of artistic creative element to you. And I feel like there's something that you do that's inspiring, okay? Some kind of creative element. Yeah. You guys are also seen to be intense, especially when, you know, you're engaged in something that you're into. And it could also have to do with whatever it is that's creative or artistic that you do. And I feel like, you know, so you guys are definitely seen as like this intense, passionately driven person as well. On top of that, Aquarius came up, so they also view you as this unique individual. So I feel like you guys, you don't just do what the latest trend is, or, you know, you're not into something just because everybody else is into it, but you definitely have your own unique style and way about you, and it comes across. And they like that about you. Okay, and the other thing that I'm seeing, okay, so yeah, this card goes hand in hand with both of you basically being busy, and most of your guys' focus as well as theirs is on what you're currently doing in life, and then like some of you might be talking here and there. So they also view you as like a rescuer, so that's somebody who provides strength and support to others in crisis, acts out of love with no expectation of reward. So they see you as being this selfless person who is guided by their heart, as well as a guide. Represents the nature of the divine in life and in yourself. So yeah, you are definitely seen as this light to others. Okay, so some traits about them is that they come across as the Page of Wands. So at their best, this person is a fun, spontaneous, adventurous type of person. And I would not be surprised if this person was, for some of you, a little younger than you. And I'm not actually getting less mature than you. I just think maybe younger. I actually feel like your guys' maturity level is pretty much equal. And they also could be a fire sign, but they don't have to be. And when I see this, this tells me that your person, like I said, you know, with the moon here as well as the High Priestess, although it's reversed, it tells me, yeah, you know, again, you guys don't know that much about each other. So they're kind of like getting clues from social media as to what type of person you are, which I think is interesting and pretty observant and shows that they're interested. But yeah, as far as like them outwardly displaying them being into you, I feel like that's pretty much kept on the low right now. With this moon here as well as the High Priestess. But the High Priestess is in reverse, so I feel like this is about to change between you two. I feel like you guys are going to start to communicate more to each other. So yeah. Okay, group number one, all in all, okay, you guys, you have somebody who is like mutually interested in starting something with you, and with the two of water here, I do get the impression that it, you know, they're interested in a relationship. This is not just purely attraction. And yeah, it looks good. All right, group number one, if this resonated, let me know in the comments, and if it did, don't forget to give it a like. All right. Bye, guys. Group number two. Okay, so how does your crush see you? Okay, so for some of you, I'm getting the impression, first of all, that this is an ex. And I also feel like as I'm saying that, you're gonna feel like, oh man, like busted. She sees right through me. And for others of you, this is somebody new. But either way, it doesn't matter. Your crush is your crush. But I'm actually getting with this group that even if it's not an ex, it's not necessarily somebody new. Like group number one was definitely somebody new. But this feels more like somebody you've known. And maybe you've crushed on them off and on. Or it's just somebody that you've known that you crush on. Okay, so the first impression that I'm getting when they think about you is that you are definitely this unique person. Okay, so you definitely have your own sense of style and way of being, and you don't care to conform to crowds and the norms and what everybody else is doing. You know, you're like a trendsetter doing your own thing. And I also would not be surprised if you guys didn't have like some kind of short hair and like kind of shaggy-ish or something different. The other thing that I'm getting is that they view, okay, this is interesting. This came through clearly. They view you guys like you guys are a breath of fresh air. Okay, and what I mean by that is like you guys speak your mind. You have like this blunt nature about you, and it's like you just say what others are thinking. And they love that because they feel like they can trust that and they respect it. Like you, it's kind of like one of those things like you may not like what you hear, but you know like that person's telling the truth and they're not just saying like what you want to hear. And that's you guys. And they like that about you because that they can trust. Okay. And the other thing that's coming through is that you guys kind of have like this tough girl or guy exterior, but I feel like inside you're kind of like a Cancer. Like you're a little more sensitive and in touch with your emotions and heartfelt than you like to allow people to see. Now, if this person like has seen you, your vulnerable side, I feel like they like that though, okay? They like seeing you act human with a heart. And those of you that this person has not seen you vulnerable at all, they will like that once they get to see you. You know, let your walls down, your guard, the tough exterior, and show a vulnerable side. Aw. Okay, so the other thing that's coming through for you guys is that you definitely have this independent nature about you, okay? And they see that. Like, you don't act like you have to have anybody, but if you are with somebody, it's because you want to be. Also, along with the work ethic, Taurus came through, and that it's kind of like not only do you guys have good work ethic, but especially when it comes to whatever it is that you're inspired to do. Okay. Yeah. And along with all that, I see that. Okay. And also for some of you though, okay, so this could actually go a little more to the extreme for some of you. Like they see that you've been single even a long time. So not only are you independent and don't need anybody, but it's like you're choosing not to. So I think, and this is a general reading, so this is for some of you, they actually wonder, do you even want somebody because you've been single so long and self-sufficient and, you know, kind of having that energy like you don't need anybody and don't want anybody. And I think for a while, those of you that this resonates with, that was how you operated. And it was due to healing from the past, which is understandable, you know? Okay. They also view you guys like a wish, which I think is sweet. But they also feel like, you know, you guys are kind of holding back. You are holding back the connection. And I feel like for some of you that will resonate, and for others of you that will be flipped. So it'll be them that's kind of holding back from giving this like a go, like right off the get-go. Okay. And I feel like a lot of the holding back has to do with a chapter ending in your guys' life and you completely letting something in the past go. Okay, so another way that they view you guys is like an advocate. Okay, so that's about people who put their inspiration into action. And that goes back with that Taurus vibe that I got, which said, yeah, you know, you guys, your work ethic is definitely at its best when you are doing things that you're inspired and passionate about. And they see that. And the other thing that you guys come across as is like a teacher. Okay, so you guys have the ability to communicate knowledge, experience, skill, or wisdom. So whether you are actually a teacher or not, and I feel like maybe some of you will be, either way, you guys have this amazing ability, I feel, to communicate what you know to others. Okay, so some of you might be on YouTube or, you know, a social influencer of some kind, or just communicate, or maybe you teach to some capacity, whether it's an actual like teacher or not. Well, that would still make you a teacher, but you know what I'm saying. So yeah, you guys are definitely seen as being knowledgeable people who can communicate that knowledge effectively to others. The other thing that I'm getting is that, so I feel like you both are in a stage right now where you're trying to really navigate through life, and you are trying, it's kind of like this soul-searching feeling amongst both of you. Like, what is my purpose? What is my path? You know, what do I want? What do I want to do? Okay, so you're both currently in that stage, and that also could contribute to this, like, the block from really giving this connection a start. And like I said, like, it goes back with the world, you know, it's like, it's all unfolding the way that it's supposed to, so that's not to feel bad that you guys both haven't given this a go yet. It's like things need to unfold the way that they're unfolding, either way. And it's just about trusting that process. But what's awesome to see is the fact that it's like, this is like what both of your wish would be, though. So as you're navigating your way through life, it is like you both are each other's wish, which is awesome. And yeah, with this card, I do feel like you are going to hear from this person if you're not already. So yeah, some of you are in communication and some of you aren't with this person currently, but I do feel like you guys are going to hear from them. There is also a lot of air here, so that tells me that whether you guys are an air sign or not, they view you like an air sign. So definitely, you know, intelligent. You are a really good communicator, and that goes back with the teacher card. And that, yeah, I feel like you guys are also kind of like jokesters, you know, like you crack jokes a lot, you're quick with the words and stuff, and like, it goes back to you guys being blunt. The other thing though, also with this, is like, even though you guys have that tough exterior with the Cancer and with the Six of Air, I also feel like though, like internally you guys are actually like a peacemaker, and like you want to see like everybody overall getting along. Like, yeah, you rock the boat, but like at the same time that's kind of all in good, you know, like fun, and you mean well, and I actually feel like you like when things are peaceful. Okay, group number 2, this is what I see for you guys. If this resonated, let me know in the comments. And if it did, don't forget to give it a like. All right, bye guys. Hey, group number 3. Okay, so how does your crush see you? Okay, so this is interesting because I actually got the flip version of group number 2. Okay, so they got the opposite of this, but it's kind of like you guys are seen as, and one of the best analogies that I can put, like summarize this with, is like a kitten that sees themselves as like a tiger. Okay. Yeah, that's how your crush sees you. Okay, I'll elaborate on that. So it's kind of like you guys, and some of you actually are kind of like this girl on the card. Okay, so you are, if you're a woman, you're like on the petite and short side, and you know, you're seen as being like cute and sweet, but also with a mixture of feisty and playful and flirty. And yeah, so it's like you guys look sweet, but you really have this warrior like spirit on the inside, whereas group 2 has a tough exterior, but they're actually like a sweetheart on the inside. So yeah, you guys are like flipped. Okay, so on top of that, you guys are seen as like dreamy like people, okay? And yeah, just I do think, you know, you guys come across as like dreamy and creative and imaginative. So there is like there's some kind of creativeness about you that comes across, but as well as there is this driven nature that you have. So you're also seen as ambitious and like a go-getter. I'm also seeing with this card that it seems like you guys, so the image I'm actually getting with this, which doesn't happen a lot, but in this case it is. So I feel like you guys went through something that was tough, but you persevered, and it's like you rose. So kind of like the phoenix flying out of the ashes is the feeling I'm getting. And for those of you whose crush knows you well, I feel like they know that about you, okay? And that goes along with your toughness. Yeah, because so with the Emperor and Strength here, you guys, it's like you had to learn how to take charge of your life and like be in control and like start making decisions and being self-sufficient and self-reliant. And on top of that, I also feel like you guys also had to heal, and you could still be healing, and like just there was definitely some radical shift inside as well as outside. So with the call here and with the Emperor and Strength, 2 lions too on top of that, you guys, it's like you had to find your own inner strength, and symbolically it's coming across as a lion for you. So some of you could be a Leo, but if not, it's like, you know, what does the lion represent? It's like the king of the jungle. It's like you had to all of a sudden become this king or queen of your own life and totally like step into your power, whether you were ready or not, and like start, you know, just changing things. So wow, you know, that's huge. And on top of that, so like I was saying, you guys are definitely seen as a warrior. So for some of you, you actually, I feel like, have joined the military. And for others of you, it just represents a warrior-like spirit. But at the, okay, so this kind of goes, you also have this childlike nature about you, okay? So where you do see like, you know, things new and like an adventure and are just fun. And I feel like that goes back to your dreamy, imaginative, creative side that your crush sees you like. And yeah, so you guys definitely have a mixture of both. So yeah, this child card could go back like up here, and the warrior could go with the lions and the chariot. So definitely this driven person who's had to be strong and take charge. And on top of that is the hero card. So, okay, with this, so I definitely see, yes, you know, it's been made known. You guys are like the phoenix rising, and you had to rise to the challenge and become your own hero. So with that, I feel like it's kind of like this this is something to be mindful of, but like an obstacle that could come in the way. And I actually, first, yeah, I see this as like a potential obstacle between you guys, is like, yes, like it's great to be self-sufficient and self-reliant and know that you can do things and you don't have to have a partner. But sometimes people can take that to an extreme and it really leaves no room for anybody else, okay? And I've actually heard it put in an interesting way. Like, yes, it's good to be able to do anything without the help of others, but it's even more like there's more of a confidence, though, with allowing others here and there to do something for you, while knowing that you could still do that on your own. So yeah, that's the thing that's coming through as far as the hero goes, and allowing this person in. Because sometimes, you know, like it's kind of like patterns that served us well to up to a certain point sometimes have to be let go of for us to, you know, continue to grow. So yeah, you can let the hero part of you go in order to allow this new person in. Also, okay, so here's some things about this person. So I'm getting that the person you're crushing on, they like to stay in shape. Okay, so I wouldn't be surprised if they were into, you know, going to the gym, or really active person and like to stay in shape. The other thing is, so with the Ace of Pentacles, I do feel like, you know, they definitely want a solid start with you. So I get the impression they want to do things right and they want to approach you the right way. So yeah. Oh, and also with this card, I'm getting that they also want to make sure that they are like also like feeling secure and confident enough before approaching you. And where they want to be at in life as well. And I do feel like they want to offer you a commitment. Okay, group number 3, this is what I see for you. If this resonated, let me know in the comments. And if it did, don't forget to give it a like. Alright, bye guys. Hey, group number 4. Okay, so how does your crush see you? Okay, so this is really interesting, this dynamic. Okay. So your crush first viewed you guys like a friend. And for some of you, this is actually a childhood friend with the 6 of water here, like somebody that you grew up with. And for others of you, this is not a childhood friend, but somebody who you are friends with, period. And that you always felt, I feel, or at least before them, this deep connection. Well, then one day something shifted in this person with the 2 of Earth here reversed. And they all of a sudden started seeing you guys as more than a friend. And with the Ace of Fire here, I feel like they started to see you as being hot and attractive, okay? And they also, due to the fact that you guys were already friends, you know, their emotions started to deepen for you as well. And yeah, this took them by such surprise, okay, that I feel like they actually felt kind of scared at how intensely they felt so different about you one day. And then with the 2 of Earth here, I feel like, yeah, like one minute they know who you are, you're this friend, and then the next minute you're like somebody different. Not different, but you know what I mean, like they see you in a completely different light, and they're just like, what? Kind of like the rug got ripped out from under them, and they just feel kind of like out of sorts and out of control, because the emotions are intense, you know? And I feel like with that, they kind of retreat when things start to get intense and they don't know what to do or think about it or where to go from here. And that's where the Hermit comes through. And I think that's why you guys are like, okay, so one minute me and this person are cool, and then the next minute they're acting weird and distant. And are they into me or are they not into me? Because I think sometimes this person will entertain this idea and then they like back off. So yeah. All right, so I'm here to tell you that, yeah, you know, they're feeling it too. It's just that it's kind of a lot for them. And I also feel like, you know, a part of them is like, ooh, do we even want to entertain this? Like, we were friends. And then for some of you, I think you have entertained this. And then you both kind of like back off and think, what are we doing? And that's like why you're here. Okay, so let's get into a little bit more about you and how they view you before coming back to the dynamic of you two. Okay, so a little bit about them. So now they're coming across as the King of Cups, okay? They've got all the feels for you, whether they outwardly show it or not. And I feel like this person in general, though, is like a more emotionally mature person. And maybe, okay, so for some of you, they might not have been, like back in the day. And now they are, but I feel like currently this person is more emotionally mature. And okay, so there is, yeah, and okay, so this represents that they went from seeing you as a friend to now like their dream girl or guy, depending on what you are, doesn't matter. Flip it to make it work for you. And okay, so, and I do feel like their dream is to build a life with you, as well as when I see this card in particular, it tells me like, you know, they are entertaining the idea of you two moving in together. Okay, so yeah, it's kind of like, before taking any action though, this person's definitely trying to read into the situation, and really I feel like they're kind of like trying to think about this whole thing kind of like a detective and think, you know, well, are we both being realistic? Do we actually fit each other? Like, should we even ruin the friendship, or have we, you know, if you guys have, you know, crossed the line at all, the friend line. And with this, I feel like they think, you know, like, kind of like they want more information, kind of like what you're doing by checking the video out. But yeah. So a lot of uncertainty, a lot of like, you know, kind of like, what should I listen to, my head or my heart? You know, like they're trying to be logical. I feel like maybe you two are maybe you two both kind of think, you know, you might be a little too different for each other. Like there's almost like this dynamic of something a little extra than just the whole like, we're friends. Should we do, you know, should we even entertain this idea? Also, there's definitely an element of nature that's significant with you guys. And maybe some of you met outside while outside taking a walk or hiking, or this is what they like want to do with you. I feel like they're just completely in their element when they're out in nature, and like they think of, you know, just going on walks or hiking or doing something outside. Okay, so yeah, I feel like all in all, like there's a bunch of aces too that came out for this. So it's like, you know, they've got the attraction with the Ace of Wands, and they got the love with the Ace of Cups. So, and you know, with both of them being aces, it's like you guys are entering new territory with this whole new idea of each other. But I feel like, you know, with this card here, that tells me like you guys really do though have a great time together, and I feel like you do complement each other, and like you both have this lighthearted, fun, playful attitude. So I do see like that this would be like a good outcome for you both. Okay, so to elaborate a little bit more too on how they see you. So with the addict and the gambler here, No, that's not necessarily saying you're an addict, but I feel like they think that sometimes, like, when you get super focused on something, it's kind of like you shut out the rest of the world, or like you don't tend to other things. And maybe that's even in regards to them. Like, maybe you guys have like not seen or talked to them when you're in the zone or doing something that you're into. And the other element about you that's kind of different and interesting is like the gambler. Okay, so that talks about a risk taker and like somebody who doesn't just like follow like the practical way of doing things, but they like go off, you know, like what comes to them or their intuition or signs and symbols. Just you do something different and it's way different to them. So I'm getting the impression you guys are more the mystic and this person is more like the merchant. You know, they're more practical and you are more into the intuition and like signs and symbols. And yeah. So, okay. Yeah, that kind of actually tells me more about this connection. I do feel like, so you two, okay, you guys, you kind of do come from two different worlds, I feel. And what you both know, though, is that you both now are into each other as being more than friends. So yeah, like I said, if you guys were open-minded about this and just really went off of, you know, if the differences aren't too big of differences, which only you both know that, then I do feel like you guys would actually have a really good loving connection. So yeah, group number 4, this is what I see for you guys. If this resonates, let me know in the comments. And don't forget to give it a like. All right, bye guys.